It is on.
It's on now.
Now it's
Okay.
on. Now it's there. It's here. It's here. We're here. We're here. We're here. We made it. We're here. It's another day. It's another dollar. It's another time that we get to play with the sounds. Just kidding. Good.
Okay.
Game over.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're here now.
Why knowing this man helps you understand the world we live in. This is Tyrone Hayes. He is an endocrinologist at the University of California. Tyrone Hayes studied the chemical atrazine, and what he found was completely remarkable. Atrazine is a common herbicide sprayed over many plants in the US and other places of the world too. But the most alarming thing is actually a chemical that is put inside the water. He studied the effects of atrazine on frogs, and so he gave frogs amounts of atrazine lower than what they actually put in the water supply. He found that it basically changed the genders of the male frogs. Quote, atrazine exposed frogs don't have normal reproductive systems, he said. The males have ovaries in their testes and much smaller vocal organs, which are essential for calling potential mates. So it begs the question, why is this in the water? Why is this being sprayed on our foods? In higher amounts than what he actually gave the frogs. It goes to show whoever is controlling our food supply don't want us to be healthy. This is why we must keep our guard up. Male must be healthy. This is why we...
Cool.
Wow, that's
Cool,
a
cool.
lot, right? That's a lot to start off with, right? I know that's crazy, but I wanted to continue off of what we were talking about before about the food and
Yeah, like the whole part two. We
and the
wasn't done.
sustenance and what we were talking about before, and how there is an assorted effort to control our existence, I guess, through the food. People tell me, "Oh, I love Burger King. I love McDonald's. I love that." That means that the additives and the addictive additives have gotten through to you unabated and no resistance from your fucking greedy ass. You want to eat the food because it tastes so good, but you don't understand that that is part of it.
Right. They're chemically altered, and that's how they get you. And they chemically alter the taste, so it tastes good.
It tastes good. They control your taste. They control your taste since you were a baby.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the baby formula, the baby food from them, they already are programming your brain to like certain flavors, certain tastes.
Right. Exactly.
So now you're over here talking about this, that, and the third. That's why it was such a freaking emergency when it was saying, baby food shortage.
Yep.
I mean, really, it was really what they really were saying was baby control shortage because
Yep.
we can go back further in time. Let's go back further in time real quick.
Let's do it. We're already here.
Ancient days, there was no such thing as baby formula.
Nope.
There was breast milk and fucking fruits and vegetables. That's it.
And sunlight.
And sunlight. That's what babies were eating during those times. So
Call
to
from the
now
past.
say that your baby can't survive without baby formula, you're severely within their grasp, their net of control, their net of manipulation.
Yep.
But that's a story for another time, another place. What I want to talk about is the manipulation and destruction of our hormones through
What we eat,
what we eat
what we
and
use.
yep, yes,
Picking up from where we left off last time.
on the daily. And I really don't think people understand the significance of our hormones. Our hormones aid in our development. They aid in our discovery of ourselves. They aid in our confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So now, if you're a man and you're constantly being inundated with estrogen, female hormones, you're going to start having doubts in your decisions on yourself. You're going to start having doubts about what you're doing. And these are not just regular estrogens. These are xenoestrogens, which mean what? Synthetic
Yep.
estrogens. These are not even being naturally produced by the foods that we're eating. Because if you're a man, you already understand we have X and Y chromosomes. What does that mean? That means we have X chromosomes, which
Mm-hmm.
absorb or draw in female hormones, and the Y chromosomes, which draws in, attracts male hormones, testosterone. Do you understand? Okay, that's very simple, but it's very understandable. I don't want none of you biologists and chemists to come in here telling me all this extra stuff. I'm really speaking in layman's terms
Right.
to the regular person.
Well, shit, do come in here and we can fucking have a conversation. You gotta tell us if it's, tell us what it is. Let's get
And
a real
that's fine.
conversation.
That's fine. Do that. But understand, you're also doing that for the layman's population. You're not doing that for me because I have an understanding,
Right.
and I'm talking to the people.
Dumb.
I have a
Simplify.
I have a very good understanding too. You're not gonna come in here and talk circles around me. Talk circles around us.
Nah.
Okay, so don't come in here with that intention. If you have something to say, you can come. Feel free, but just understand. Do it from a pure space. Don't do it from an elitist mindset, because
Right.
that's where you're gonna get shut down by me specifically. Now, moving on.
Mhm.
All of this has to tie in with our last episode about the food, and actually ties into what I wanted to really talk about today, which was land confiscation and land suppression. Now, how are the two combined? How are the two connected?
Mm-hmm.
If you're of a higher mindset, you already see where I'm going with this. But let's say you're not. The land and food have to go together, because that's where you grow the food, on the land.
Right.
You grow the food on the land. Does
Yes.
it make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So now, with land being confiscated, that ultimately implies that there's less control of what is being grown on that land.
Right.
Because who's doing the confiscation? Okay, you can say government. Okay, you can say Bill Gates. I would just say that whole system in general. Break it down in your own categories as you wish or as you see fit. But either way, it's not controlled by the you or the me.
Nope. It's controlled by
No
the
regular
them.
people is controlling that. No regular people is monitoring that. No regular people is sanctioning what is being done to that land. You get what I'm saying? You follow me?
Yep. I am.
So that what I'm trying to say is there is now a concerted effort to give us whatever they want to give us, so we can develop however we want to develop. Now, somebody that's my age or older, around my generation or older, we're not going to be as susceptible to it as, let's say, a teenager or a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
They already know. Most of us already are we're in our own brainwash, our own lockstep already. And they actually want to phase us out. Now, many of us will get phased out because, hey, guess what? A lot of us took their solution.
Mm-hmm. To the problem that they created.
Yes. So,
Which is most of the time.
a lot of us are going to get side effects, symptoms, all these other things, results based off of that. But the rest of us are going to we're still susceptible to the old ways of destruction, because that's what they want. They want to destroy specifically our elders.
Every time, so they can continue to brainwash, and there's no connection to it. There's not going to be somebody that's like, I've seen this before, don't do that.
A lot of erasure of history is the goal. They want to erase as many people who can expose what it was
Exactly.
as possible.
Yep. Right. Because we've already seen the experiments. Oh, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'll just explain the experiment. So basically, there was this there was a group of monkeys, you know what I'm saying, go into the cage, put them on the cage. There's a banana at the top of the ladder. Every time the monkey went up to get the banana at the top of the ladder, something would happen to it. I don't know if it was shocking or something, but it was something negative to the monkey. So, of course, after a couple of times of all the monkeys going up there and finding out that they shouldn't, then they go up there and something happens to them, they stop going up there, right? Obviously. So, like a society type of thing, right? Control, right?
Shadows of war.
Exactly. A shadow of war. But, that's going to connect into all of that later. But, so then they put in a new monkey, and the new monkey went up the ladder, and all the other monkeys beat the shit out of that one monkey because they were like, yo, you gonna go up there and fuck it up for all of us. We already know what happens when we went up there. That shit ain't cool. Da da da. But that new monkey has no idea why he's getting fucked up. So then what happens? He assimilates into the shit, right? So now he's like every other monkey. He's not gonna get the banana. They're all gonna sit there and be miserable because they know what's gonna happen if one of them tries to rise up, basically. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and put that however you want. Understand that however you want. But that's real life society right now. You know what I mean? People don't speak up against authority.
Right. Because they themselves have seen somebody else fail in that attempt to do so. So now they are now putting the peer pressure upon the new generations who weren't there to see what was happening.
Exactly.
And that's where we're at a lot of the times. We're getting told by people who are scared not to do things, not to be a certain way, because they love the status quo more than a little chaos.
Don't question nothing. Keep your head down. You know what I'm saying? The system is right. Da da da. Like, all of that onto that one person, or that one monkey or whatever, trying to do things differently because there's an easier way. Like, why aren't y'all just doing this? Why not just do this? Why not just get this happening? Why not just get this popping?
Right.
But that type of thinking sparks thinking in others. And then you see it. What's that favorite movie? A Bug's Life, right?
Oh, yeah.
If one ant stands up to us, then they all might stand up. And we can't have that because there's so many of them compared to so many of us. Blah, blah, blah. It's life, everything. It's right there. Like, y'all want to eat that food that's not good for you? Who's giving it to you?
Yourself, actually, to be honest. You're going to get that and eating it. You're paying that derivative, that whatever.
Because you were told to by them. They were advertising to you that it's so good that you should have this for your health. You got Honey Nut Cheerios for cancer awareness. Although the Honey Nut Cheerios are the very thing causing the shit that you got, the problems that they're trying to fight against. You know what I mean?
For real.
It's crazy.
It's not a lot of our immune systems have been compromised from jump. So then you are easily, word of the day, I guess, is susceptible. You're easily susceptible to developing certain diseases, certain ailments upon your life because you are now addicted to food. You're addicted to these foods. We're not gonna act like these sucrose and glucose, high fructose corn syrup, and others
Trans fats
aren't addictive additives put into the foods. My nigga, why am I buying coconut soda and there's motherfucking high fructose corn syrup in it? Nigga, it's coconut fucking water and whatever the carbonated joint is. That's it. Why does it have to be extra shit? I don't want it to be sweet. I'm not buying this looking for the sugar. Y'all have people addicted to sugar that they are doing that. But when I personally buy things, I'm not looking for the extra sweetness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for the thick viscosity like some molasses type John. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for just what I'm buying. Coconut soda.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So now apply that. I'm saying coconut soda, but you could apply that to many things. Ketchup, mustard, fucking any other random sodas. Ginger ale. What is this high fructose corn syrup? that's being like sneakily slithered into our fucking food supply, and that's on the low scale. There's things that's even worse than that, way worse than that, being put in our food.
Every day, every fucking day.
And that's because what? They confiscate the land, they suppress the land from us. Not only do they take it from us, but then they prevent us from even knowing it's available. I just seen earlier today that they want to start taxing farmers. This is how they're going to confiscate more land. They want to start taxing farmers for the burps and farts of their farm animals.
How are you even gonna do that?
Like, because of, like carbon tax and stuff from climate change. That's why they push that shit. Climate change, carbon tax, all that. That's why they push that, because they can now create new avenues to furtherly tax us and take more money from us.
Man, and eventually, what's gonna happen? Like you said, the land confiscation. So this is even another part of that. Like, what happens if they can't afford the tax? What happens when they can't afford the whole shit they gotta pay that, right? Then what happens? Well, they're gonna take your land. They're gonna take your shit because you can't afford to pay it, right? It's happening all over the place. It's ridiculous. Like, we talk about how like it's chemicals in the food. The not number one person, I don't want to say that, but one of the people who own the most farmland right now in this country is Bill Gates. And we already know Bill Gates makes fake mosquitoes. He, like, you know what I'm saying? He does like this shit with experiments to change and do the unnatural stuff, or at least the people he knows he's doing a land for, blah blah. Because he's not a scientist. Again, he's not a health person. He's not none of that type of shit.
He's not a nutritionist.
He just got money.
None of that.
And money seems to be one of those another brain control thing here, because money means you got status, which means how'd you get that money? You had to do something for that. But people don't realize that what a lot of people do for the money isn't right in the first place. So
Right.
these people have money based off the wrong reasons, and these people themselves, we don't even know them. We don't know what their motives. You know what I mean? You have to look to find out what their motives are, but you don't know them off rip. You don't know them like your neighbor, or your friends, or your family, where you're like, oh, they got all the money, so they're gonna be a good person.
Right.
What we talk about? Money changes people. Money does this. Money does that. You sell out for money. You sell out for this. So why is it so hard to believe? Or why would it be so hard for you to be like, oh, this shit's in my food right now? It's not even like a conspiracy theory. This person bought the land, grows the food, put this shit on the food. You even heard at the beginning of the video. They spray herbicide all over the plants. You got wax all over your plants. You get pesticides all over your plants and veggies and shit. They tell you you're supposed to rinse and wash and soak your veggies in limes and vinegar and salt because there's wax on the fucking outside of the shit. So I mean, like, this isn't crazy what we're talking about. This isn't ridiculous. This is just like something you don't want to fucking look at and believe, because you yourself even know, my apples and pears are kind of real shiny right now. Didn't this shit come out the dirt? Why is this shit sparkling? How'd you make it sparkle like that? Oh, you're not gonna question that. Just eat that. Wash that. Just eat that. What do you mean wash it? Just rinse it under the water. Okay, but that shit don't even get the shit off the food in the first place. They just tell you that so you can feel better about it. Again, like, it's all manipulation, and they put this shit on the food, in the food, and you're eating it. And then you, like you said, then it becomes what? They break down your mind, right? Well, I'm not gonna think too much about this anymore because, if they said it's good for me, it's good for me. They break down your critical thinking skills with their food. Their sodium, their trans fats, their extra chemicals, their estrogens, their estrogens in general. Some food got extra testosterone in it. Some food, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know what the fuck is in the food. And then we go out to fast food restaurants. How the fuck they make that shit in 5 minutes? How's that shit getting vaporized and done? Like, nobody questions this shit. This is ridiculous to me.
For real. And then I keep always looking at photos from the 70s and 60s and people on the beach, and you're not seeing as many overweight / obese type people. You're not seeing, even somebody pointed this out, and I'm like, damn, that's actually true. You're not seeing chemtrail lines in the sky and stuff. You're not seeing all of that stuff. Somebody, I forgot his name right now. I can't remember his name right now. I'll probably go look for the clip in a little bit. But the man was talking about how the amount of aluminum has risen drastically from the 70s up until the early 2000s. Mind you, we're in 2022 right now, and I'm saying this. Up into the early 2000s, how the aluminum levels have risen so drastically, and aluminum has a negative effect on the soil because it locks in the nutrients, not allowing the plants to absorb them, not allowing them to, get the most out of it. Now, you're probably like, what, where's that coming from? It's coming from these particulates that are that are coming from our planes, coming from, particular planes, and being rained down through the form of rain and or snow onto the ground, which then melts or dissolves into the dirt.
Yep.
Now, I could sit here and say all this like how I'm talking right now, but this is common sense. Y'all see this stuff? This is regular life stuff. I'm saying scientific words, but this is regular stuff. I don't have to say these words. You seen fucking rain fall down and then go into the ground. You don't see that shit fucking go anywhere else. It goes into the ground. So now, if it's raining and they're putting stuff in the clouds, when it rains, that stuff in the clouds comes down to here, right? Okay, yep. So then what do you fucking think happens after that? It's just there, right? It's just there in the ground. So you don't have to know the fucking specifics. That's why I feel like they do so much deception of saying, oh, you gotta have this degree, this type of knowledge, that type of knowledge, because they get you confused about the specifics. But the knowledge is just a representation of understanding, my nigga. You're trying to tell me words to explain shit that's already currently happening. Knowledge is not used for no other purpose other than to explain shit that's already happening. To give you, the listener, to that knowledge, wisdom. And for you to use that wisdom to now formulate it into understanding of what's going on around you.
Right.
Ain't no motherfucking person that's out here in this world spreading knowledge that actually needs to actually do that. Yes, I can see actually without somebody telling me, I can see 2 + 2 is 4, my nigga. I don't need to know what the word 2 is. I don't need to know what the word 4 is. I can see that there's 4 things there, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
it's right there.
That being said, I'm saying that to even expand out of that, the concept of innate understanding, innate wisdom, innate knowledge. We fucking know this shit. I was born on Earth, my nigga. I don't fucking have to teach an elephant shit. That motherfucker gets born and knows how to fucking walk and knows that's a fucking line. I don't go over there.
Intuition.
A fucking bird, a bird's parents don't teach it how to fly. You know what a fucking bird does? It throws its fucking hatchling out the fucking nest. And that nigga better learn how to fly or he's gonna fucking hit the ground. There's no fucking flying school for a bird.
Nope. And he gotta learn how to eat, gotta learn how to do all that shit all on his own.
And yet we get convinced that we have to go to a school to learn how to exist. Now, ain't that some shit? Every fucking y'all niggas will have a whole pet and see that nigga fucking survive. Y'all don't fucking teach that dog or cat shit.
Nope.
Y'all don't do fucking shit for that shit. But other than give it some food. And if you don't, guess what? That motherfucker gonna eat.
Somehow he gonna get it. And or he gonna leave or he gonna figure it out on his own.
But most people can't put 2 and 2 together in that sense of, how does that fucking animal know that shit? But I can't fucking figure out if I didn't fucking learn how to fucking what an egg and some fucking bread is, and I would not know how to fucking eat a sandwich, nigga. Come on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on, and it's I'm trying to say it in a more comical, very laid back way, but in the reality, a lot of niggas is dumb. A lot of y'all motherfuckers is retarded because we're over here sacrificing our God given, our source given abilities and knowledge and understanding of what's going on or where we're at right now. We what is like fucking give that up to be accepted by a society that was made off of those same principles.
Yeah, exactly.
Niggas made this society based off knowledge, understanding, wisdom.
Yeah.
They made that off of this, and then some of them within some of them was like conspired to be like, yo, we could take advantage of this, in which they did and which they are continuing to do.
Yeah, and you are or us or whoever is continuing to buy into that. And just like you can go outside and grow your own food, that's what everybody else is doing. But you can grow your shit naturally. You don't got these all those chemicals. You don't got to use all the artificial growers and things that make the shit fat. Like that's in everything right now. Like you think like what's a seedless watermelon? How does that work? Like everything that's supposed to be organic or alive has seeds in it. Regardless of whatever it is, that you have the reproductive wherewithal, I guess. Most organic things, I mean, have that. Non-organic things don't have that because they aren't real. They're fake. You can't reproduce a fake thing. So they inject the chicken with all the shit, the chemicals, so it looks bigger, it looks redder, or they inject the steak with whatever to make it look redder. You know what I mean? Like this is just stuff that's just in the grocery store. When you go in and you walk by this shit every day, you got a pack of chicken, but the packaging on the chicken is bubbling up. That only happens when you fill this shit with air, or you fill this shit with something else that's not supposed to be there. Because anything else you wrap up, you want to make sure there's no air in that bitch, right? Because the air fucks the shit up. So why do I got air and bubbles in the supermarket? Why do I got a package that looks like it's about to burst or whatever? What y'all inject that shit with? What gases are in that packaging to make it look whatever or however?
They got a thing called meat glue, which basically they will basically use that to glue pieces of meat together to make it into what we would call a steak or a roast. And because at the end of the day, a lot of these not really farmers, but a lot of these like supermarket type joints, their bottom line is the dollar. They don't give a fuck about nothing else. So now that's why when I go to the market, bro, I pick up a piece of steak. I look at that light pink shit.
Yep.
The less of that, the more guaranteed that I'm gonna buy that. When I see more of that shit, I put that shit right back the fuck down. Like, nah, that's either a lot of fat or that glue shit that I'm talking about. Because I'm not about to deal with that. I'm not about to be extra poison in my body for what? For what? Really, for what? I like to see that the meat, the muscle, whatever. And that's if I even buy that, because I don't even go hard and buying that shit like that no more.
Nope.
Because at the end of the day, I didn't raise that animal. If I raise an animal and I slaughter it and I fucking butcher it, whatever, you best believe I'm eating that motherfucker. I'm eating that shit. But otherwise, it's too much of a risk. Not only are the cuts questionable, but the feed, the fucking raising, the living conditions, all that, it has to be in question. And I question that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I don't be like going ham about it, especially with no beef or no, you know what I'm saying? I don't eat pork, but especially with no beef, and y'all who eat pork, you got to think about that too. Chicken, I might go a little, be a little more loose with it, but even that is still questionable because it's still the same. It still used to be a living thing, so I still have to be, conscientious of the categories or whatever I just broke down to you. You know, because at the end of the day, these things are going into our bodies, and we're not getting a lot of time or a lot of space to work out these stresses, work out these negative toxins. You know what I'm saying? We're not, for the majority of us, don't get that. I personally make time for that. So I'm okay with doing these things because I know, okay, I ate this. I know that a day or two later, probably 3 days later, I'm going to be doing something to detoxify myself from that.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and that's very important, the detoxification.
Yes.
You could do it any which way. I'm not here to sell no product. I'm not here to sell no method.
Nope.
Just figure out a way to do it.
Motherfucker.
A lot of people will fucking sit there and say, "Oh, you buy this product, buy that product,
But
fuck
it's still supplement.
that." No, there's no one size fit all for nothing. You know your body.
Exactly.
Do what your body requires.
And if you
period.
don't, then you need to get to know your body, because it should be telling you, like, it should be telling you, listen, listen, you sometimes, you know what I mean, and like, you just figure it out. You just do it. Listen, when you eat certain foods, say a Mexican burrito, or say like beans and rice or whatever from a fast food restaurant, if you eat that and you're getting up in the middle of the night and using the bathroom, maybe that's just not good for you. If that shit's waking you up out of your sleep and you're up for 2-3 hours talking about my stomach hurts, maybe that's just not good for you, you know? Because that is designed to do that type of thing, to fuck you up in your system. So you are up, so your system isn't using its efficiency the right way because it's taking all this time to get rid of the shit that's in your system that you put into it, rather than focusing on strong fortifying your body and making yourself stronger and making, you know, more defense systems to fight more germs. The shit that we eat, the shit that we're given, or say, you know, because we stop a lot of, I'm sure, I don't know how many people cook at home anymore, but there was a point in time where a lot of people weren't cooking at home anymore. It was kind of eating out every day, and it's kind of maybe still like that because I know people are lazy and whatnot. But when you go out and get the food from the fast food restaurant and you eat all that cheese, or you eat all that grease, or you eat all that shit that they give you, you eat that greasy burger or whatever, and you go to the bathroom, like I said, for 3 or 4 hours, like, they are poisoning your body, bro. Like, you're getting poisoned. This is not a joke. This isn't, I mean, it sounds funny because I've been there. Like, I know what foods I'm eating, and I'm gonna be like, damn, yeah, that got me. You know what I mean? Like, you know what it is. But when you eat cleanly, you know, you eat your veggies and you eat this stuff that doesn't have a lot of chemicals and shit in it, and you're not mixing a lot of foods together, what? You sleep through the night. You get up in the morning, you're like, I can't wait to have some tea. I can't wait to eat some carrots, some greens, some whatever. Because all that other shit ain't good for you. Like, dairy. Like, people are lactose intolerant. Like, you're lactose intolerant because you're not supposed to have that shit. You're allergic to this shit because maybe it's not the actual food you're allergic to. Maybe it's the shit in the food. You're not gaining weight because you're eating the foods. You're gaining weight because you're eating the chemicals. If you leave this country, there's mad people that leave the country and go eat the same type of shit in another country, and they're like, damn, I'm losing weight. It's just actually healthier. Like, there's way less chemicals out there in other countries than there are here, because America is, again, about the dollar, and they're about depopulation, and they're about all the negative, harmful effects. That's why they sell cigarettes to you. That's why they sell fucking all the alcohol to you. That's why they sell all that raw food. Like, come on. Why are we not thinking about what they are really doing and putting in front of us and advertising to us to be healthy, to be good? You get cereal. The first meal of the day, you get cereal. You're getting a whole bunch of fucking sugar. You go through the day. Then you decide, okay, well, I'm going to eat lunch, dinner, snack, fucking dessert, and all that extra shit. You're already damaging your system because your body isn't even designed to handle all that bullshit you put in your body. It's designed for natural shit. Natural foods. All that extra shit is damaging you, and you've been damaging yourself. And it's been, I don't know how long, how old are you? You don't gotta tell me. Obviously, you gotta drop nothing in the comments. You gotta do none of that. Just think about it. When did you start eating bullshit? 10 years ago? 15 years ago? Half your life? Your whole life? And we're talking about eating food. We're not even talking about all the other shit you use, like soaps and fucking
Lotions,
lotion.
makeup,
Yeah, all that stuff you
other
put on
stuff.
your skin, that shit
Perfumes.
contaminates your body too. It's not about what you eat; it's everything.
We got pores. We got pores in our skin is porous.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So all these things that we put on our skin, ignorant of what's in it, could be, can be, and most likely is causing disruptions. Our endocrine system is the first system of defense for our bodies. Once we start acknowledging and understanding that, the sooner we can start to combat as a full unit against these companies, against these whatevers that's just doing these negative things to us. Now, again, how they plan to their method is to kill us by 1,000 cuts, paper cuts, 20,000 paper cuts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got a paper cut before. One fucking sucks, and I had two at the same time.
Ugh.
I was in motherfucking agony. So now they're doing the metaphorical version of that, in which we are not conscious of it, but our body is subconsciously conscious of it.
Mm.
Where our bodies our cells are reacting to these poisons and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it may not going directly to our brain, and there may be some type of inhibitor in these products to prevent our brains from even acknowledging or acknowledging the what's going on. The alert system that probably would normally be happening is being inhibited because these people understand how to mix chemicals in a certain way to appear harmless to our brains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harmless to our cells, harmless to our fucking endocrine, harmless to our respiratory. So we're just like, oh, I'm gonna put this on, slap this sunscreen on, I'm gonna slap this fucking Neutrogena on, and fucking go outside and call it a day. I'm moisturized, bitch. All right, but you're really just wet for destruction.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all that it really boils down to. Because they have driven out the idea of working out of us. So now, when I tell somebody, oh, you could just make some avocado oil with XYZ, you could just make some, you just get some of this sand right here, mix it in with some water or whatever. You rub that on your skin. That's good right there. People don't want to hear that. They want the instant shit. They want the instant gratification. They want to go spend $4.99, get a fucking bottle of some shit, and rub it on their skin.
And they hope that it's 100% natural because it says 100% natural on the bottle. Man, that's what I've been trying to tell people. Like, yo, you could do everything yourself because they do everything themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, you don't have all the big machinery or the big oil or the big chemical machines or the big, pesticide or whatever. Like,
to
you
back
just
you up to support you.
Right.
Nothing that you're trying to do.
You just go out there with a little dirt, a seed, and some water, and you call it a day, and then you got a plant. Because that's all it takes. Like you said, we've been so conditioned to think that you need more than what's actually there. You need a whole fucking power plant to grow something. You need regular dirt. You can make your own dirt, put a seed in it, put some water on that, and boom, you're good to go. But y'all want all the chemical. Y'all want that savory taste. Y'all want that, what is that? That tastes like chicken, but it's a pepper. Because you guys already fucking are addicted. And again, like I'm not trying to push myself or separate myself from anybody because I'm only talking like this because I have been a part of this shit. I'm the one. I'm going through it now. I'm still going through the ingredients on lists right now on the back of the shit and being like, what the fuck does that say? I can't eat that. That don't make no sense. So let me go ahead and put this back. Let me go ahead and try it. Most of the time, I haven't been so good about it now. But in the back, in the past, I guess, a couple of weeks or a month ago, like I wasn't even eating like that. I was literally doing like, okay, here's some water. You know what I'm saying? Fasting real quick. Let my body like heal up and everything. Do what it's supposed to do. And I felt way better than eating every day. I felt way better than having this fucking food or this shit that they be like, oh, here, go get some Taco Bell, go get a McDonald's burger, go get a this, go get a that. Here's some breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have all that shit. I literally was not focused on that. I wasn't worried about eating food. I wasn't worried about oh my god, I'm addicted to, I need to go. Listen, everything they put on this planet or everything they've made so far has a negative effect against you first. So that's why they let you have it. I know we're not talking about cell phones right now or nothing right now, but that's just a perfect example. That shit's got radiation coming out of it every time you answer it, or every time it sit next to you. You have it in your pocket, you have it in this, you have it in your jacket, you have it next to your for women, your titties, right? Now you got breast cancer. Oh, how'd that happen? Well, I haven't been. Well, where's your phone at? Well, I keep it in my bra. Okay, cool. So think about that. If that's happening in the phone, and you're just eating this shit, you're just eating food, not even questioning where it comes from. You're not questioning who makes it. It's coming from a factory. It's coming from a whatever. It's not being packaged by you, and you're just eating that. Just know that there could be other shit in there. Because again, who knows what gets in, besides what they're putting into it, but they're in a factory. Who knows what gets into the shit if it's a big factory and they're just putting this shit together and just putting it in cans and just packaging it up. Something could have fell in the vat. Something could have got stuck in this shit. There could be cobwebs. There could be a spider. There could be bugs. Because even when you make Hershey bars or chocolate bars, there's parts of bugs and fucking ants and shit and dirt in the food. In the chocolate. So there could be anything in the food that you're eating that you haven't cured, created, raised, grown, whatever, caught rainwater yourself. Like, you don't know what's in that. And we don't know. And we'll never know what they're putting in our food. But that's a lie. We will, you'll know if you look it up. You'll know if you check it out. If you research the back of your fucking ingredients list, you'll find out that they've been poisoning you. You'll find out that shit ain't good for you. You'll find out there's some shit in your food that's supposed to be in fucking blood thinners or in fucking blood whatevers. Like, come on. It's there. They've been telling you.
Right. And they've been telling you that in spades. They're telling you that in conjunction with other things, because at the end of the day, they want to go to bed with a good conscience and knowing that they had told you.
That's all they
things,
have to do.
Even though it's contrary to other things they may have told you before, they don't want to go to bed at night knowing that they did not inform the populace in general of what's going on. And that's just like scratching the surface, type stuff, about, especially, and I want to reconnect that with the land confiscation. They take the land from farmers, trustworthy people, to do these things, to produce these products, whatever. I also wanted to bring up real quick land suppression, which I think we will get into the next time. But I just want to say, like, land suppression, what's that? That is the omission of lands that are available to us. Shoot, the omission of lands that are actually belonging to us.
Yes, I get that. That makes a lot of sense to me.
And I don't really want to get into it too much right now, because I'm feeling kind of like I've overwhelmed, or we have overwhelmed you guys with some of the stuff. And I know whenever I have conversations about food and land, I know that I get overwhelmed, because it's like so much, like, damn, like the playery, you know what I'm saying, the fuckery that's going on behind the scenes is a lot, and some people can't handle it as strongly as someone like me, or the co-host, our co-host, me as a co-host. We're both co-hosts. I'm just saying, like, I know there's people that freaking reporter, National Enquirer type niggas out here that will fucking try to nitpick these things. But we're stronger. We're strong enough to transcend these little terms, but there is a space in which we have to operate and progress forward, knowing that our land there is more to this reality than we are being told, and we cannot achieve that knowledge. We cannot achieve or acquire that knowledge until we accept that there is knowledge to be uh, grasped or gained out there. And so, with that being said, hold that.
Hold
I'm
that.
done talking to y'all niggas.
Oh. Shit. So, just go ahead and take what you will from this. All I'm gonna advise you to do: read your read your X read your X Files. Read the back of your nutritional guides, your foods, the shit you be eating. Ask for the nutritional guides at your fast food restaurants, or ask for the restaurant guides with the nutrition values on it, and just look this shit up. Because if you don't look it up, eventually, my nigga, it's just gonna be
Game over.